Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Barry Chappell coming to you live from Hollywood, California, home of PrimeTime Shopping Network studio. Oh, I got a special guest coming up at 7. Oh, my goodness, one of the most incredible artists you're ever going to meet, David Lloyd Glover. Ashley, do we have some art tonight? We got a lot of art tonight, good stuff. And I'll tell you what, I haven't sold one of these in a long time. I have not one, not two, but 3 Henry Millers. Now, Henry Miller was an author. He wrote LexisNexis, but the stuff that got him really known in the mid-60s, late 60s was Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn. Some people viewed that as X-rated, and I don't read, I just watch the movie, but he became so famous as a novelist. And a friend of mine, Gary Chappell, who used to run Coast Galleries in Hawaii, became friends with Henry Miller. And together they did what they called the Centennial Collection. And oh my goodness, Gary got the Henry Miller collection so very famous. About 15 years ago, on one of my shows, we sold the original Henry Miller to one of his editions. And if I'm not mistaken, it brought like $30,000, David, $32,000. Yeah. And here is a Henry Miller named Chagall's Horse. It's number 167 of 200. And that was hand signed by the Henry Miller. This edition was sold out long time ago. Did you ever read any of Henry Miller's stuff? I never did. You read it?
Yes.
Is it a little yowza, 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 hubba, 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 hubba?
Well, erotica, I guess you call
Now hang on.
it.
This is right up Wilson's department. Now Wilson, when the artist says erotica, what is he trying to say? Because I said yowza, 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 hubba, hubba, hubba. What's it? That works.
Yeah.
So he is complicating yowza, 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 hubba, hubba, hubba with erotica. Was it a long book?
Well, I can't remember the number of pages. It wasn't that long.
Was it a quick read?
Yes.
Okay.
Quick read.
Here is one of my favorite Henry Millers. Right here. It's called Really the Blues. And in the last one, and in this one, and the next one, you will see Henry Miller puts the Jewish Star of David. Henry Miller was not Jewish. He just thought that he had a lot of friends that had known people that had died in the concentration camps. And he just, he was just proud that he could put a Star of David in a lot of his works. This is called Really the Blues. And it is an edition of 200. This is 32 out of 200. Now I just want to show you, because here's a comp. And this is 2,400 for Chagall's Horse. There you go, yeah. Now, Gary Chappell, he kept seeing Henry Miller walking down the beach, and he struck up a conversation, and they went on to publish all this. And he would tell me stories that Henry Miller would tell Gary Chappell about his affair with the artist Anneliese Nim. There was a big story behind Booba. I'm trying to remember. Do you know the story behind it? Once again, you got the Star of David. You got the face of Henry Miller when he was younger. And it is number 37 out of 200. I could show you comps. Those are the lowest comps we just started pulling up. That's a low. I mean, there were times where Coast Gallery, it was 4,500 unframed. And these editions have been sold out. I think that last one was done in 1992. They were all sold out. So 92, 02, 12, 22, 31 years ago, Wilson. I hope I counted that right. Yeah, 31, yeah. Ashley, what should I do with the Henry Millers? What would you price them? Would you? 2731. You didn't just say 2731, did you? Did she just say 2731?
Yes.
Patty, did you hear her just say 2731?
That's the number.
Do you think that's coincidental, Juliana? That doesn't ring a bell, 2731? Okay. I'm going to leave it alone then.
Part of your phone number.
No. That's a number that
Special meeting.
special meaning to her.
Gary Coppell's still in business.
He's still in business?
Yeah, Coast Gallery. In Big Sur.
How old is he now?
He's been in the gallery business 51 years.
So he's got to be 90, 100?
Yeah, 1971.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm glad Gary's still alive. I'll tell you what, Ashley. All right. I got 3 Henry Millers. I'm going to let somebody. What's that?
You know how much this is, what I mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Tell you what. These are, most people paid $3,500, $4,500. Tell you what. I'm going to give someone a deal of a lifetime. This is too cheap, Ashley. $850 to open on a Henry Miller, hand-signed and numbered by the author Henry Miller, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, and that's too cheap. They're $4,000 and $5,000, and Gary Coppell's still alive. He's going to be calling me up pretty soon. No. He's a great guy. He was in the Navy or something. He was a proud serviceman. All right. I'll tell you what. They know one of the most valuable ones, Chagall's horse. You know, David, Chagall finds it hard to get around without his horse. Yeah, that's his horse. Chagall's horse. Birds, Star of David. Tell you what, I'm going to make this so easy. I will know if anybody at all is watching me during the internet-only portion. Matt, how many people are watching me online? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Ashley, if I give them a deal so good, Chagall himself might come back just to haunt David Lloyd Glover. Would you do it? Do you want to see David Lloyd Glover haunted tonight by Chagall? Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd pay $1 to see that. Yeah. Tell you what, this is so cheap. If you don't buy this, I don't know what to do. Start. Oh, this is too cheap. $500 to open, $100 increments. I couldn't even buy them from Gary Chappell for $500. And we sold dozens of all the images. There were like 25 images. Yes. 500 to open on Chagall's horse.
The number is the next number after the one I gave them, which is 2732.
2732. And, I just want to throw it out there. This is an amazing artist, and if you like Henry Miller or literature, all right. I'm not going to honor that later in the show, Ashley. That was an early bird, internet only price. So the only one I haven't put up is really the blues, right? Gary Chappell was telling me stories that they would sell out an edition of Henry Miller in literally hours. And this is pre-internet. I mean, this is, you got to know people. And I'll tell you what, retail on this, let's be conservative, $3,500. That would be so conservative because Gary Chappell, he had the Centennial Collection. And tell you what I'm going to do. Ashley? Oh, should I take a chance here? This is really the blues, which I'm going to feel. What? $850 to open on Really the Blues. And this is a piece painted by Henry Miller. Henry Miller, the author. How many books did he write? Didn't he write like a lot before he died? I mean, no interest in Henry Miller yet. Now, stay. This might be, if there are any little children watching, I would, I don't know, this is this too racy for this time of night, Wilson? Oh, you live on the wild side, don't you? All right. This was painted on the artist's palette. Now, what is the name of this artist, Ashley? Julian Ritter. He would paint showgirls in Las Vegas. He stayed at the same hotel as Elvis Elvis actually became buddies with Julian Ritter, and that is the only one that I have ever heard of being painted on a pallet.
Yeah, I'm trying to
What kind of comps do you think this is worth? David, what do you think? I've never seen a Julian Ritter. I mean, I see big money on some of his work. Yeah, oh, he used to paint clowns like Red Skeleton. Tell you what, that is an original Julian Ritter painted on his palette, and one of the few. The family that bought this owned a pawn shop for 60 years, and I'll tell you what, 1,100 to open. I mean, we're finding Julian Ritters for 7,000 and 8,000, and here you have one painted on a pallet.
his palette.
Verifying.
His palette.
Yeah.
Yeah. David, you've been an artist for how many years now?
Started in 1967.
67 to now. How many years is that?
55.
55 years. Did you ever paint any Hubba Hubba Yowza 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 painting?
Sure.
All right. Oh. Well, I am going to move this over. Tell you what. Oh, this is an amazing artist right here. I believe it's Wahlbeck, Coco Wahlbeck, and Carlo Wahlbeck. My bad. How he divides the painting, has some light coming in from the door there. You don't have to look very far to find his work for 7,000 and 8,000 for a signed and numbered one. This is an original painting. Yeah, I need 2,700 to open. And I'm going to, these just came in, so I'm going to give it, I'm going to bring in all kinds of comps if it doesn't sell here tonight.
Would you open
That one? I'd love to, but I can't, Patty. I'll tell you what. Can they come up to? I want to make them a deal, and let me put that one back up right here. And I appreciate a call. You stay. See how I said that, Wilson? Forcefully, you stay. I didn't yell at it. I didn't say you gotta stay. I said you stay. That's all there is to. Nothing. That means absolutely nothing. All right. I can't take that, but here's what I can counter. come up to $900 to open. And that would be so cheap. That'd be like the cheapest Julian Ritter in the history of, and he painted this on his palette. So you texted a lot when you were growing up, right?
I'm an old lady. What do you mean? We didn't have text, remember?
Okay.
53, yeah, no, I just started this some years ago.
Smoke signals.
So, nah.
That's like it. That's exactly what it is.
It's a blanket.
Ah.
We're almost the same age, Barry.
All right. No, you're far younger than me, man. I am. What do they say? Okay. I can't do it, but if anybody wants to open this for $900, feel free. Give me a call. But here's what I'm going to do. Here, 3,500 retail, Henry Miller. Here's, well, you got Chagall's horse. Right now, serigraph on heavy paper, they want 2,400. But I'll tell you what, they want the same for any of the Henry Millers, the Centennial Collection. Start at zero, Ashley. $100 increments. Let's see if anybody is watching me. How is Juanita?
Oh, she's doing well.
I miss her. I like having Juanita here.
She's happy. She's 27, 31.
She's a very happy dog.
Vision's okay? Vision?
All right. Start at zero, $100 increments on a hand-signed and numbered Henry Miller. Where that is actually his face he put on this piece. If you ever saw one of his other pieces, Just a Brooklyn Boy, that's what he looked like growing up. Any interest, I'm starting at zero, $100 increments. Oh my goodness. Let's see, let's mark the time. It is 6:23 Pacific Standard Time. You know what that means? You know what that means, Wilson? That means I took out a gun and I shot my own show. I have been on TV for 23 minutes. No, 25 minutes. 24. I can't even get a $100 bid on a signed and numbered Henry Miller. Can't even get a $100 open. This is not good. We have 100. Thank you. You know, forget the fact it's framed. The value is that was hand signed by Henry Miller. And that is part of Gary Coppell's Centennial Collection, where Henry Miller painted pieces that he thought told the story of him and his life being born in Brooklyn and traveling the world. I sold on one of my shows Henry Miller's travel case. He'd been all over the world, and he traveled everywhere. $100 going once, folks. This is a $3,500 Henry Miller.
200.
200 has been bid. This is Henry Miller. Did you read a lot growing up, David?
Yep. Had my library card.
Yeah.
Little kid.
I didn't, because I had a theory growing up. If you couldn't make a good movie out of it, the book must be awful. So that's why I never. $200 on a $3,500 Henry Miller going once. Hey, that sounds like a phone. Was that a phone? How much? 300. We're at $300 on a Henry Miller that should have cost you 10 times, 12 times that. You know why it didn't, Wilson? Because I'm Barry the Giver. Yes. Do you give a lot of blood, David?
Not as much as I should, I guess. They keep calling me.
300 going once. This is so cheap. 300 going twice. Fair and final warning. Sold.
Wow.
For a while there, they would not let me donate blood
Oh, yeah?
because I have too many red blood cells to white,
Yeah.
so I can't donate my blood.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I could donate mine.
I'm sure you can. All right. So, Ashley, I have 2 left. That one, that auction went, there's a worse than bad, worse than rotten. Of these 2, I guess Chagall's horse. Right here. Take a look at that. This was one of the most expensive ones when I was selling them. And here, this is a comp we printed literally from Fine Art Galleries. Henry Miller, Chagall's horse, signed and numbered. Look at that. This is 167 out of 200. An hour before I went live, they wanted $2,400. And this, the way the different coats he used, look at that. This is stunning. It's a silk screen. He used probably 7 different shades of blues, but hand signed, hand numbered by Henry Miller. And Henry Miller would sign everything. I mean, he would tell you what is the item number on Chagall's horse? 2732. Oh, that's the number Juliana knows. I don't want to embarrass her. Take a look at this. And let me tell you what I'm going to do. Folks, this is probably the most expensive one I have here. This is the one Gary Chappell sold out first. Henry Miller and Gary collaborated forever on this. And this was, he sold it out, I believe, in a day or 2 days at a show. And it is just beautiful, from the Henry Miller collection done by Coast Galleries. I'll tell you what, please don't hurt me. Start at 0, $100 increments. Folks, this is an expensive Henry Miller. See, all right, I should have made that $200 or $300 increments, but this is an expensive Henry Miller. Look at that, all those shades of light blue, sea blue. And you got seafoam green. Is seafoam green a real color, David?
Sure.
Do you have any seafoam green in your palette?
I can mix it.
You can mix it.
I only use primary colors. The four primary colors.
4 primary colors.
The seafoam green was colored by bedroom in 1955. Because everybody's bedroom was seafoam.
Seafoam green in 1955.
Yeah.
Let's see the 4 primary colors. Red,
We used to call it
blue.
landlord green.
Landlord,
So David, help me out. So the 4 primary colors, red, blue,
Red, blue,
black,
white,
white.
and yellow.
Well, yellow you can make.
Yellow, blue, red, white.
Oh. Well, that's it. I have no open, which means I am going to be very, very, very smart and move this over. This is off the auction block. Stay. Let's see. Tell you what, just to see if anybody's watching, this only take a minute. I'm going to do $100 increments. Here's a Michael Schofield. It's a last little watercolor. I don't know what that number was, Ashley, but this 2322
2622.
2622. This was done in 03. I don't know about you, David.
There you are.
Yeah, Wilson had one when he was growing up. So did Ashley.
What?
A 2-2. Yeah. I didn't use mine. Would not fit, Wilson. Every time I go down like that, it would rip.
Yeah.
Have you ever worn a 2-2?
No, I haven't.
I'll tell you what. I got comps for $2,800, $2,900 on a Michael Schofield watercolor. Started zero, $100 increments. And I believe, Matthew, I have a docudrama on David Lloyd Glover.
Somewhere in the mix.
Yeah. Now, where did the Lloyd in your name come from?
It was my grandfather's first name.
Lloyd.
He was a Queen's Counsel judge in Canada.
Oh, Queen's Counsel.
Yes, he was a QC, as they call it.
The QC.
Yeah. He appointed to become a QC.
And who appointed him?
The Queen.
The Queen?
Yes. Queen
The,
Elizabeth.
oh, my goodness. Did he ever meet the Queen?
Oh yeah. Get his honor, his pin.
No, so he met her. Did they hang out all the time?
Oh, yeah, just hung out.
No open once on a Michael Schofield original watercolor done in 2003. I see a phone ringing there, Patty.
No, that's just flashing.
There's a difference between flashing and ringing.
That is correct, sir.
Why is it just flashing? Does that mean someone's trying to call in? Okay. No open once, no open twice. Fair and final, no open. I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
You have to open up the last Miller.
Okay. That was this. Chagall's horse. This is the most expensive one. And what I said started zero, I should have said 200. I said started zero, $100 increments. So we have $100 on Chagall's horse. Now, I don't know if I can do it, Ashley. I might have to take one of the horse's legs. I cannot sell a 4-horse Chagall's horse for $100. That's $25 a leg. Can't do it. All right, we have an opening bid of 100. This is the most expensive one I got. All right. Now, Wilson, I am just going to walk over here for a second because I need to count the failures of tonight's show. Okay. Where did I go wrong, Wilson? Because I've only been on the air 37 minutes. 200, thank you. I appreciate it. Was that a pity bid? No, if it was, watch this. I am at 200. This is a $4,000 Henry Miller. The Henry Millers I paid the most for. Chagall's horse. And I've done such an awful job. I started this at 100. I am now at 200. This should be, I got comps, 2,400, 3,500. And I am currently at $200. Now, 200 going once. Now, Wilson, I've double checked this plan. I think this plan is foolproof because I can guarantee you I've been the fool that proved it. What is wrong with me cryogenically freezing myself? I am currently 62. Get enough dry ice and liquid nitrogen. Freeze myself where I wake up a week before I'm 100. But when I wake up at 100, I'm really only 62. So I got some, click in my step and everything else. What could possibly go wrong? I don't wake up, then I won't know about it. Well, I'll make sure Ginger gets my Social Security. But she won't, but I am currently at $200 on one of the most expensive Henry Millers I have on this planet. And nobody. What are they doing on, what TV is that? K-Pack? K-Pop.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hold on.
It's what? Yes.
Okay, well, she wants it at 300. Okay, I just told her. 300.
300. Make sure she gets a card on file. We're at 300. No, she does. Ashley, can they beat 300? Okay. I am down to one bidder at $300. Oh my goodness. $300 going once. 300 on a Henry Miller. Chagall's horse. Going twice. Fair and final warning. Sold. All right, now. Let's see. I got 20 minutes till dish. Tell you what I could do. Tell you what. Hey, how long is the docudrama? Hang on, I tell you what, David, we got a few extra minutes. Come on up here.
Oh, you want to chat?
Yeah, I want to chat. How's life, man?
Life is good. I need
A mic.
a mic.
Yes. He's got a mic. Well, he's getting it ready.
Well,
This is David Lloyd Glover. Now,
If I lean close,
yes.
the
Now,
mic will pick me up.
how long have you been a professional artist, an artist?
Well, 67 is when I started,
Okay.
and I was an illustrator for a major daily newspaper in Canada.
Okay.
So how's that? I was,
55 years.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you look young. I'm an old guy, man.
You're younger than me.
Yeah, but no,
You're like my younger brother.
Oh my goodness. I don't buy green bananas anymore, David. I mean,
There we go.
all right, yeah.
Now I'm getting connected.
Yes, you are. Okay.
Big of work. Are we on?
Let's see. Can you hear him? Mac, can you hear him?
Am I on? Looks like it.
Yeah, you're on. Well, thank you for showing up, David. I appreciate it.
Yeah, really nice to come down. It's been a little while.
Yes.
Yeah, you've been busy. I've been busy.
Yeah. Well, what have you been up to?
Well, just working on lots of different art projects. I've been doing a lot of my rock and roll celebrity art.
Yeah.
I did a piece last week for this Ringo Starr event. It was a fundraiser for the Ed Asner. Remember Ed Asner?
Yes.
He has a family foundation, and the Ringo Starr and the All-Star Band did a performance at the Orpheum Theater.
Wow.
And one of my big important dealers bought my Abbey Road Beatles painting. The Beatles crossing Abbey Road. In
Yes.
fact, you sold one of the limited edition
Editions,
prints.
yes.
And they sold it at auction to raise money for this family foundation.
Wow. Well, now, Ed Asner passed away a while ago, right?
2 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I have a doodle that Ed Asner drew
Oh, yeah?
for charity to raise money.
Well, he was always doing that.
Yes,
he was a good guy.
Well, speaking of rock and roll events, Ashley, where are the rock and roll stars that,
There's some rock and roll.
yeah, well, who's your favorite?
Well, there you are. We have, we'll put some up for our direct TV, not our direct TV, but our live streamers.
Yeah.
That is from Pink Floyd, David Gilmour. And that's a very young David Gilmour. You can see he's got long, long hair. He doesn't have any now, but still plays guitar like a mean guy. And Pink Floyd were one of the most seminal British rock groups of the 1960s and 70s. And you know, their album, it was called Dark Side of the Moon, which is part of this title. Dark Side of the Moon was on the Billboard charts for 367 months, continuous, on the charts.
Well, 10 years, something like that.
It just sold and sold and sold.
Well, what's neat is this is artist proof #1.
Yes.
And when you were selling these in galleries, there were 10 artist proofs. And what would something like this go for at Art Brilliance or in a gallery? What would something like this go for?
Well, Art Brilliant for a proof print like this would be would start at 10,000.
Really?
At this size, yeah. And go on up, depending on the popularity of the artist. Now, David Gilmour is extremely popular with the guitar players.
Okay.
Because he's kind of like the guitar player's guitar player.
Oh, okay.
And all of the famous guitar solos in Pink Floyd albums were his. It was his work.
Well, let me see another one.
No, we have another one, which is none other than the famous Everly brothers, Don and Phil.
Are either of them still alive?
No.
They died?
They passed on. Yeah. We all remember their tunes, you know, Kathy's Girl and I Want to Be Kathy's Girl. You know, they were the vocal inspiration for the Beatles. The Beatles copied their sound, the way
I
they would
didn't know that.
harmonize.
Yeah.
And you notice in early Beatle recordings, it almost sounds like it's the Everly Brothers.
Oh.
To the Beatles, these two fellows were gods.
Oh,
You know, they
my
copied
goodness.
everything they did.
And this is artist proof 10 of 10.
10 of 10, yeah.
And with Art Brilliance, it would be 10,000 for one of these?
Starting at, yeah.
Starting at.
Yeah.
You said that twice, so many of them would go for 12, 15,
Oh
20.
yeah, sure. Oh, absolutely.
What's the most you can remember an artist proof going for with Art Brilliance?
About 25 grand.
25 grand.
Oh, sure.
For
yeah.
one just like this.
Yep. And you never see them again on the secondary market. You know, the people who bought them still have them.
Wow.
And, you know, the last show I did there was 2007, so that was a few years
18,
ago.
17 years ago?
Yeah.
16.
Yeah. And,
I'm so sharp at math tonight, David. Yeah.
well, you're just a numbers guy.
Yeah, no, not tonight.
And we also have the Beach Boys, who
Oh,
have been
there
doing a
you
lot
go.
of performing right now because of their age. This is Al Jardine. He's been the rhythm guitarist most of the history of the Beach Boys. He turned 80 last week,
Wow.
and Mike Love is 81, and Brian Wilson is also 81. Unfortunately, these two Wilson brothers are no longer with us, but this was the original lineup for the Beach Boys. You
And-
know, with the California striped shirts, they were the surfer guys.
And let me just show the back of that because right here, number 1 of 10. Wow.
Yes.
Good vibrations.
Good vibrations.
And so this would be 10, 12, 15 grand.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
And this is number 1.
Number 1.
Signed.
Artist proof. Yep. Signed on the front,
Front.
signed on the back,
Yes, artist proof number 1.
with a certificate of authenticity.
So in 2007, if Art Brilliance put up number 1, it wouldn't surprise you if this had gone for 25, 30,000.
Oh, sure. Easily.
Easily.
They
Well-
did in minutes. It would only take a few minutes.
Should we price this? Should I auction it? What should I do? I mean, I just,
Well, do we have enough customers online yet? Or-
I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause
That's,
you need a few.
tell you what.
Beach Boys, you know, they recorded their tunes all within a few blocks of this studio.
Really?
Did you know that?
No.
All of their material was recorded right around this neighborhood.
Wow.
Really, you could walk to the studios. They were Western Recorders on Sunset, the Capitol Records building.
I know
They
Capitol
recorded there.
Records, yeah.
All of that's walking distance to this part of town.
Well, this is stunning. Hang on. Give me 10 seconds. Come in on this real fast. So these two are gone, huh?
Yeah, that's Dennis Wilson, who was the drummer, and Carl Wilson was the lead guitarist. And Brian, they were the Wilson brothers, yeah. All. Brian is still with us, and Al Jardine is still very much with us, and so is Mike Love. These two fellows actually perform still as the Beach Boys.
So this would go at Art Brilliance 2007. It would not surprise you for this to go to 25,000.
Oh, yes, they'd be fighting over that.
At 25,000. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to see, seeing how this is number 1, good vibration.
Yeah, number 1.
I'm going to see. And this is, I'm living on the risky side here. Ashley, I'm just going to see. Wilson, if he tries to hurt me, I know you'll jump in and save me, right? Yeah. He's shaking his head.
He's got his gloves on.
Yeah, he's going. Good luck, Chappell. This is way too cheap just to see if anybody's watching. $1,000 to open. Oh, look at that face.
Yeah. Oh.
He's now mad at me, Wilson. Did you see that face?
Whoa.
It was a combination of Jack Nicholson and Al Pacino. Say hello to my little friend. Did you see that friend? $1,000 to open.
$1,000.
$200
Wow,
increments.
that's great.
This is as David says, Art Brilliance in Japan. This is 35,000, and this is #1 artist proof, right there.
Yep, signed by me, numbered by me, painted by me.
So you're getting everything for $1,000.
And who wouldn't want the Beach Boys?
Yeah,
They're
I know.
America's greatest band that's still going. That's the amazing thing about it. They're still performing. They did a tour this summer.
Really? And they're in their 80s.
Mm-hmm. Still playing. Still sound the same.
Well,
Yeah, they've had a few changes in their lineup, but it's still the same music, the same sound, same arrangements.
well, let's see. I guess I'm lucky nobody's watching to open, because that should have been a lot more. Let me see if I can find it here. I'm going to show a picture, everybody. This is my dog Ginger. She's 4, playing with these 2 golden retriever puppies. And that's Ginger. She loves those puppies. But I tried like heck. I told the lady that owns this puppy, this dog is not Athena. They want to call that dog Athena. Take a look at that dog. Patty, would you call that Athena? No. You know what this dog's name should be? Guillermo Sanchez Escobar.
Should be.
Yeah, nobody will mess with Guillermo Sanchez Escobar. Yeah. Would you mess with Guillermo? No.
Rough customer.
Yes.
He's no Beach Boy.
Yeah. Well, the lady is going with, there's Guillermo again, saying I can break out of this park. Guillermo's 5 months old now. All right. No takers on that at $1,000. Okay. Let me see. Ooh.
Gotta have Beach Boy fans. Gotta have
Yeah.
Everly Brothers fans too. My
Yeah.
goodness. These 3 images are very popular.
And this is
Yeah.
#1, artist proof
Those
#1.
editions have been very popular.
Yeah. Well, I am gonna.
Yeah. Collectors all over the country and in Europe are buying these.
In Europe?
Yes. You know, in Europe, they just love the Beach Boys.
Wow.
And of course, Pink Floyd, they're crazed about that.
What was Pink Floyd's #1 hit?
The Wall.
The Wall. That's it. All right.
Actually, I met David Gilmour in 1988 here in Los Angeles.
You met him.
Yes.
Wilson, this is #1 of 10. Artist proof #1. David Lloyd Glover, who painted this, signed it, numbered it, said at some of the shows he's been at, this would go for $25,000, the #1.
It's all ready to go.
And it's signed on the front and the back.
If you're a Pink Floyd fan, this is a must-have.
This is rare, right?
Oh, yeah. This is a must-have.
Have you ever, in your travels, eaten beef tartare?
I hate to say it. In Asia, I had chicken tartare.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That's not the thing to do. But
No,
anyway.
beef tartare is just raw meat.
Yeah, it's raw beef.
Is this the dark side?
Yeah, dark
Yes.
side. Yes.
2457.
2457. I'm going to honor that price, even though David gives me a face that.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah, because it should be a lot more. $1,000 to open on artist proof #1, and
Yep. This is for the real music collector, especially if you're a guitar player.
Yeah.
If you own an electric guitar and you're into it, you got to have that on the wall. This is a real collectible. A lot of this edition sold in England, over in the UK.
Yeah. Where did you meet him?
In Pacific Palisades, which is near Malibu.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, actually was my neighbor in the building, was also a famous British rock guitarist. And we all met for lunch.
Oh.
He was David Gilmour was a very laid back individual.
And he died, right?
No.
He's still alive?
Oh, sure, yeah.
All right.
You would never know he was a rock star if you just were having a nice chat with him. We had
Pulled it down from the internet. I don't know.
tea and hamburgers.
Okay, because it might be online. Yeah. I was trying to find that amazing docudrama on you.
You have it.
I do?
Yes. There's Matt. He's probably got it queued up, right?
He's trying to find it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know you can
Does he
find
have
it.
it? You see it?
I
He's
don't,
got good eyesight.
I don't see it playing, but
Well, no, hang on. It's not time to play it.
he's
anyway.
got it.
Your
In
mic
his,
is muted.
he has it in the files.
I'm on now. Okay. So we got 2 or 3 minutes, and then we're going to play it. But I'll tell you what. I think he's going to find it. What's he? Do you want to bet on it? Do you think he'll find it?
You'll find it.
And don't you just download it on the internet right now?
Yeah, you can see it on the internet.
He has it. It's just it's a bad connection. Someone disconnected the cable.
Aha.
So does that mean he can't get it or he can get it?
He's gonna get it.
He's going to get it.
He has to patch in the player.
Oh.
Yeah, that's.
Did
what
you
he's doing.
disconnect it? You seem to
Pulled
know
that wire,
exactly
yeah.
what's
Just
going
pull
on.
the pin on that operation. Yes.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah, we're going to get back to that. You know, we are literally 2.5 minutes away from 2 channels on Dish Network. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
2 channels on Dish.
So we will we'll be pulling those back up in a second.
Yeah. We'll revisit those.
Yeah, but before we even go to that, David, have a Coke, have a sip
Yes.
of your lemonade.
I will indeed.
I'm going to take this down, and because in a couple minutes we're going to play a docudrama. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Hi, folks. I have, just so you know, I'm trying to get this David Lloyd Glover docudrama up because I have 6 of the greatest, 7 paintings of his that are $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 paintings. And I'm going to give you guys great deals. What do I have? How much time, Wilson, till Dish is on? 1 minute. All right, and in 1 minute I'm going to need Ashley up here. Yes, I'm going to prove something. She's going to like this. All right. Folks, I apologize on online. Well, not apologize, but in a second we're going to restart the show. We got a docudrama and everything else. Well, let me know when Dish Network starts, because I want to know. Do you have an atomic watch there? Is it? Let me see. Because the clock says it's 7 o'clock. I'll tell you, my Apple phone says 7 o'clock. Yeah, we're on Dish Network. I Barry Chappell coming here live from Hollywood, California. PrimeTime Shopping Network's headquarters. We got a lot of great stuff. But I need Ashley up here for a second because she has been worried. I got a joke. And she's been terrified, but I believe this is a very important joke. All right? And Juliana, you can learn something from this joke too. All right. Yeah. Patty, she already knows jokes like this, but here's the joke, Ashley. It's not actually a joke, it's a story. A guy and his wife have been married for 40 years. 40 years. They have 4 sons. The first 3 are all Snow White Caucasians. The 4th one, named Michael, is a great son, but he's just a little olive in color. So he stands out from the other 3. So 40 years been married, husband's on his deathbed. He's dying. He says to his wife, look, I love you. I've been married to you for 40 years. You've been the dream of my life, but I got one question. Am I really Michael's dad? And the wife looks at him, says, honey, of course you're Michael's dad. You are definitely Michael's dad. And he smiles, closes his eye, rolls over and dies. The wife looks up and says, oh, thank God he didn't ask about the other 3. So Michael was his son. You got that one, all right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't expecting that.
All right, well, let's see. I think does he have it? I see a guitar. Well, I am going to... Oh, okay. Well, folks, on Dish, I thank you. I have in person, in studio, one of the greatest artists you're ever going to meet. He has been painting for 55 years. He is Canadian born. He is one of the most successful artists on the planet. He has sold in Japan with Art Brilliance. He's sold here in the United States. He is sold everywhere. Now, Matt looks, is that a I got it look on Matt, or is that, I'm not sure. He's what?
He's not even looking at you.
He's trying to figure out the wiring.
Okay. So I'm going to pencil that as a no.
Want to flash some?
What's that?
Flash some blowers?
No, but here's what I am going to do. I am going to bring him up without any further hesitation. The minute I say I'm going to move on, he's going to say, I got the film.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what's
Some again? I don't think he has it. He doesn't have it, does he, Wilson? All right, come on up, David. I'm going to bring David Lloyd Glover up here. 55 years of painting.
55 years of painting. Boy, it's my arm tired.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been great, though.
Yeah.
How's that?
Well, you have been so kind. You have made a mark around the world. You sold in England, Europe, at Art Brilliance. You would do shows where your paintings would go for well over 100,000.
That's right.
Some 200,000-300,000.
Yeah, those are wild shows.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, Japan, you've been to Japan, right?
No, I've been close to it, but
Everything
never-
in Japan's small.
Yeah.
This gallery was huge. They had 850 customers at once in the gallery, and they have all your artwork up. It was immense, this gallery, and they would sell out a show opening night.
Really?
Oh, yeah. By the time I got there, the show had been open for about 2 hours.
Also,
Yeah, you just see all the red stickers around the showroom.
and it wouldn't surprise you, because you were telling me that in Japan, one thing about fine art, when it comes from a known artist who has a known accomplishments, it is dowry worthy, is what you called it.
That's what it was all about.
So you gotta, hopefully, would that be the husband's family or the wife's family?
It was the husband that had to own an original piece of art, a real painting. And when they would buy one of my paintings, they would buy them framed, and then they would build a box with a velvet liner inside so that you would have this box you could transport the painting in. And when he was asking for his daughter's hand, a father, he would bring the box and open it up and show that he had one of my original paintings, an original oil painting.
Oh.
And then he would get the approval.
Oh.
You're a cultured man.
Cultured.
Yeah. So as a result, in Japan, you would never find my artwork, all the paintings that I sold there, or the serigraphs, or the lithographs. You never see them on the secondary market because it's part of their life. It's part of their household. It's a
Wow.
permanent fixture.
Well, I have what I got, like 6, 7 paintings, 8 tonight?
Yes.
All right.
Eight brand new paintings.
Oh, yes. Well, there's one. You stand right here because Ashley's on the phone. What I'm going to do, this is one of my favorite David Lloyd Glovers I have ever seen. Because at one point I sold one of my businesses, Barry Chappell Bargain Berry Shopping Network, to Panda America. And I never thought I'd see a David Lloyd Glover panda bear.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Take a look at this. Now, when did you paint this?
2008, I believe. Yeah, 2008 I did. I did a series of endangered species.
Okay.
And I wanted to do them not in a realism style, but more in a abstract contemporary style.
Okay.
So that's why the loose brush strokes and kind of the abstract background and kind of impressions of the of important animals that are now endangered. And now I understand from the news that the 2 pandas that we have here,
Okay.
that were gifts of of China, are being returned
To China?
back to China.
So what are they, not gifts or?
I guess they were on loan, or they wanted them back. They're going back, so we're losing our pandas.
They're taking back 2 pandas?
2 pandas, that's right. But you can have one here.
Yeah.
So this is oil and canvas, and
Now, you did a lot of
Art.
shows for Art Brilliance in Japan.
two a year, or 2 trips, like 2 trips a year, and then I would go to multiple cities because they had galleries in Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Hiroshima, Sendai, and so I would travel to some of the other galleries, and they would have smaller shows.
And when was the last time you were there, last big show for Art Brilliance?
2007 would be the last show, and in the following year they started to wind down their operation.
In '07, what would that go for at an Art Brilliance show, if you could guess? Because a lot of times they didn't want to tell the artist what it went for.
This is a large, about 100,000.
100,000?
Yeah, would be the price on that. That would not last in the Tokyo Gallery.
Well,
And unfortunately, the founder of and the driving force behind Art Brilliant was just getting too old, and he left the company. So after that, they just wound it down. But they did have 28 locations.
28 locations. Can you pull up that next painting in the back? That one. That's one of my favorite David Lloyd Glovers of all time.
Well, thank you.
Penguins.
Wasn't that fun?
Yes.
The mama penguin and the baby penguin.
Are they an endangered species?
Oh, sure. I think everything's an endangered species. So again, this is done in a style that's kind of like abstract, contemporary.
Yes.
compositional.
The mother and the baby. And so if this was art brilliance, it'd be $100,000 plus.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And you sold in a lot of American galleries, sold in British galleries.
Yeah, Canadian galleries, of
Canadian
course.
galleries.
I started with Canadian galleries.
Yeah. Wow. Well, let me grab another one down there. Or Ashley will. Hey, look at those plums. Look at that.
Apples and plum.
Yes, and I'm going to put this over the Henry Miller.
Actually, I have a little story about this particular painting, which I'll pull the book out.
Yes. They used to teach how to paint books, right?
Yes, Walter Foster Art Books is probably the largest, most important company that does this in the world.
Oh, okay.
And they sell these books all over the world. I've done 6 books for Walter Foster.
Oh my goodness, there it is.
And yeah, there's the color mixing study. Now,
Here, can you show that? Can you?
now,
Here, let's go like this a little more.
yeah.
So Wilson.
Now they reversed the image for the book,
Yeah.
but this is the original painting.
And in this, you're telling how to bold and basic, how to mix the right colors
Yeah, how to
to
do
make
it.
that painting.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
Wow.
that's another one of my paintings there. But that was the purpose of this painting, was to show how warm colors and cool colors, create distance. With the warm colors coming towards you and the cooler colors going behind.
When you say a warmer color, show me a warmer color.
Well, here, these would be warm colors. Your oranges, your yellows, your reds are all in the warm spectrum. As you go into the blues, there's your cool section. So this apple really does sit in front in your composition.
and it
then-
looks like it's in front because you're mixing warm and
warm
cool
to-
coins, colors, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this
so
is
it
stunning.
creates a dynamic, even though it's just a flat image.
And look at that right there, cert and everything. Now,
Yep. Certificate of authenticity. That's an original painting.
in a U.S. or Canadian gallery, and you've been in many of them, what would you think this would sell for if they had a David Lloyd Glover show?
Well, this would be about a $7,000, $8,000 painting.
Okay.
It's a still life. I don't do a lot of still lifes anymore. I used to do quite a few of them,
Oh, it's beautiful.
but it started out as as I was authoring this book. When I was writing the book, there was a piece I felt would be right to demonstrate just how color creates the depth and the dimensions.
Whoever gets this, they actually have a painting
Yeah.
that David Lloyd Glover painted to show other people how to mix warm and cool colors
colors.
to create depth in a painting.
Exactly. That's
Wow.
how it's done.
Well,
Perfect for your kitchen.
yeah.
You've just redone your kitchen. That's
Which
the
other
perfect
ones
original.
are your favorites down there? If you had to,
Yeah, let's bring one up.
yeah. Where is that?
Now, this was in Hawaii on the island of Oahu,
Okay.
and just an old house surrounded by a very lush Hawaiian garden.
And you see what year you painted? 2007.
Yes.
Old Hawaiian cottage.
Yeah.
Now, signed on the front, signed on the back. Now, have you done many shows in Hawaii?
I did one once. Yeah, a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have done some Hawaiian paintings, but I don't do a lot. So,
Okay.
I didn't really specialize. Like you
Was
go to
this a
galleries.
harder
and
one for you to paint because you're not? No.
No. When I was there, I saw this place, and it said it had to be a painting.
What do you think something like this would go for in a gallery, or if it was '07 and you're at Art Brilliance, what would something like this go for?
At that size, that's a $15,000, $20,000 painting at Art Brilliant.
All right.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Well, can you show the one in the back, the cow I got mixed up with a bull?
Okay.
Yes.
And I have a story to tell about this one as well.
I thought it was a cow, but this is a bull.
A bull. There you go.
Look at that. Look at, now this, what you're doing right here to create the contrast, mix the colors,
Yes.
that took you decades to learn correctly.
Yes.
Yes. I saw that and I'm going, look at this, Wilson, right here. That's like what Oleg does with gold leaf. Look at that. Whoa, those clouds look like there's so much humidity in them, it looks like they're going to rain right
Well,
here.
And you know, when you're painting clouds and you're sitting out there in the field, those clouds change in minutes.
I didn't know
So
that.
you really got to capture the paint very quickly.
Was this a plein air painting?
Yeah,
where,
plein air painting, yes.
where you just set up the easel and you started painting?
That's right. And then, lo and behold, look who walks into the picture. So he got included.
Yeah, well, I said, now what about the one with the cow? He goes, dude, that's a bull.
That's a bull.
I know now.
So this is a book
Take a look at
that
this.
I authored. I wrote this book for
Pastoral landscape.
Pastoral landscapes. And within this book, this teaches young students, art students, even older art students, but how I do it, step by step.
Okay, well,
Now, actually, this is a painting you sold here, Fine Art Showcase.
here, well, let's let everybody see it, because
You sold this original.
I did, huh?
Yes.
Well, hang on. So there you go.
That was sold at Fine Art Showcase a year ago.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Look at that, folks.
And then we go to this painting.
The purples,
Yeah, the purple. Let's go to this painting.
and you're showing how you mix the colors.
How I make it happen. Here we go. I got a little marker. Go to the marker, David. So you can see I started with my sketch in the field, and I'm just blocking it in. I used a blue ground. I painted the whole canvas blue,
Okay.
and because I wanted to show how the colors would come forward, the warmer colors,
Wow.
the cooler colors would recede. So you see how I'm building up
Yes.
the colors. And then we go to, and
Oh, you're
in
starting
comes
the
the
cow.
bull. Yeah,
The bull. Yeah.
the bull arrived, and I said, okay, you're now part of the painting. So you can see all the different colors are broken down here. And,
Wow.
and then there's the finished product.
Look at that.
Look at that. It's just,
And
there
what
it is.
year was that published?
Good question. I think it was 2008. I think on this one.
Pastoral landscape, 2000 and something.
Yeah, I think it was 2008
Now,
that I did this one, but there it
you
is.
painted,
It's in
oh,
the book.
2013 is when you painted this, yes. When Heartland Morning, what would,
Heartland Morning, yeah.
yeah, what would something with this, if you stand back there a little bit back, you'll see, now look at the clouds. You see, now it's got the light. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Now you can see it.
Something like this, Art Brilliance, what are you talking?
This would be very popular. You're probably at a $25,000 painting. This is
Art Brilliance, Japan.
Yeah, that's right. Now, this is acrylic on canvas laid onto board.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, grab
That's
another
American,
one. Yeah,
American Heartland.
Yes, these are amazing, and I am setting them up. Stay. And stay. The painting with the bull. Okay. Where is this, David?
At the river bend. This is in Southern California.
Oh, Southern Cal.
Santa Ynez Valley.
Santa Ynez Valley.
Yeah. At the
Oil
river
on
bend.
canvas. 18 by 24. At the riverbed. Now, what was hard? If you're an artist or wannabe artist, you've been painting for 55 years.
Yeah.
You paint how-to books on how to paint. What was the hardest part for you or an artist wanted to plein air, set the easel up, and paint this outside? What would be the hardest part of this painting?
To capture the light that was there at that moment, because the light is fleeting. You know, the sun is moving rapidly, clouds are coming over and covering different areas. And I like the balance of tones in this painting so that you could, it created the depth and the distance.
Well, that's the first thing I was going to say to you. Those mountains look like they're way far back.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people mess up their painting because they can't make that effect happen.
Yeah, they're bringing everything forward, so you've lost your sense of dimension.
Yes.
You know, the thing about a painting versus a photograph, like you could go there and take a photograph of the river bend, and you would get home and you'd be disappointed. You go, you know, it just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
Now, as an artist, what you do is you don't paint the scene so much as you paint the emotion that you feel when you're there. You know, how do I feel when I'm there? And that's what you try to put into, impart into a painting.
And this at the gallery, 25, 30,000?
Yes,
Yes.
18 by 24.
All right, well, Grant, we have two more to show you. And then I'm going to start selling, hopefully. And I'm going to move the number ones away. I'll put the Beach Boys over here.
Yeah, we can revisit the rock stars now that you have your cable back, or
Yeah, we'll get back to
your
those.
dish.
Who do you have right there? Where is this?
England.
England.
The gardens of England. And this is, you know, obviously now you can see what it is. You're walking through an arbor, and it's just covered in summer roses.
Now, am I wrong, but is this color you signed it? Is that pigeon blood red?
Pigeon blood red.
Is it?
Indeed, yeah. Sure. Chinese red.
Chinese red?
Yeah. Now,
Is that an official color?
well, you could probably buy a Chinese red. Some people refer to like a Ferrari red as a
I
Chinese
gotcha.
red. Yeah. You know, this painting is, you know, kind of an abstract in a way. But when you see it on the wall and you step back, you're drawn in, you see what it is. You're
Why
drawn
would you
in.
say it's an abstract?
Because it's just color patterns, you know. There's no real,
The steps don't pop out, what?
yeah, it's just that you don't, well, it's a steady path, you know. The sun is kind of popping through. And what you do when you're painting on site like that is you try to capture the moment.
Okay.
And, you know, the sun was coming through in the background, and you're walking through the garden path. And when you just get up close and you look at the painting, it looks almost, you'd say, that must be an abstract. You see that painting from across the room.
You go, I know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, you're drawn right into it. It looks real. And why that works is if you understand how to use color and dynamics of color, the brain, the human brain in your eyes actually puts in the detail that you didn't paint.
Really?
Yeah.
So by making it a little abstract, you're forcing your brain to put the detail in
That's
that at
right.
first you can't see.
You can't see because all of our brains are fixed the same way. We're wired the same way. We look for patterns. And what they're seeing are color patterns and light, and they fill it in. They think, gosh, look at all the detail in that painting. And then they get up close and they go, oh no, that's just colors put together.
Ah.
Yeah.
Can you grab that last one?
Yes.
Folks, and I want to thank you. We're getting Let me see where I can put this one right here.
Look at that, huh?
Ah, look at this one. Oh my goodness, where is this?
Oops, fall off the stage.
Yeah, no,
This is in British Columbia, painted quite a while ago. And yeah, what's the year on this? I can't even recall, 2006. And Western British Columbia is in particular Vancouver Island, where I grew up, is very, they call it the Garden Isle.
Oh, I've been to Vancouver Island many times.
Yeah, so
I lived in Port Angeles, Washington.
Well, that's right across the,
Is that
across
like
the water.
glacial blue? What's the official name of that blue?
Cobalt blue.
Cobalt.
Cobalt blue, yeah. How do you like that? So there's a path that, you know, the foreground, the trick of this is the cool foreground, and you've got the warm colors there, so it draws your eye into down the path, and you can see into the sunlight.
So that's, when you start to paint that, you're in your mind have said, I have to find a way to bring the viewer's eye
That's right.
down the path.
You must take people on a journey, because when you own this painting, when this is now part of your life, every day that you see it, you want to take that journey. You want to imagine yourself, you know, looking through that garden. You know, people find, you know, when they put paintings on the wall, their favorite paintings, you know, they use them kind of as a, you know, lift their spirits, calm them
Yes.
down, and it becomes part of their life, just looking at a painting. They don't just put it on the wall and never look at it again.
Lakeside Wild Roses, 2006.
And
Those are the wild roses.
wild
huh?
roses, yeah. You know, what you try to do in a painting is create something that every time you look at it, you think you find something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you've, for,
That's what
for
you try to do.
55 years, you have been doing that. Well,
Putting in the dimensions. You notice in the roses here in the foreground, there's white roses, but you notice if you get in close, you'll see that actually there aren't too many white roses. They're blue roses, they're lilac roses,
yes.
because they're in shadow. But they look like all white roses.
Well,
But by doing you create the dimensions, the little hiding places in a garden.
David, I'm going to go to work. Don't leave.
Oh, I'll be
Yeah,
here.
just
I'll be
be
here.
around here, turn
Yeah.
your mic off, and have a sip of. He always has us get him lemonade. Yeah, no, folks, my name's Barry Chappell. You're watching PrimeTime's Wednesday Night Art Show. I'm in my 33rd year of doing live TV. I brought the best, David Lloyd Glover, decades, 55 years of painting. One of the best known painter in Japan. Now what I want to do is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 original paintings. Tell me which one. And I mean, if I wasn't here, I'd be yelling like that commercial where the lady is sitting there and the people in the basement are going, you know, the gold commercial, you know, talk about so, you know, this to me is one of the greatest David Lloyd Glovers I've ever seen. That's a large painting. I got the penguin. This was from the endangered species. This was painted in 2008, the panda. It is 30 by 24, one of the largest David Lloyd Glovers I've had, and that is absolutely stunning. You said that'd be $100,000. in an Art Brilliance sale. You had to turn my mic off because I sneezed. So, tell me, I have 8 paintings. I have penguins, not pilgrims. Oh, shut up, Chappell. Camera 2, let me know which ones you want. And Ashley, I am going to go so easy on the first 2 or 3 requests. They're going to go, he's too easy. So, has anybody called in for any of these? All right, let's see. Ashley, you got any requests back there? Is anybody? Which one? Okay. Well, let's give it a second because I'm going to make the first person, I'm going to make them so happy they're going to go, no way.
That's for one of the Hawaii again.
All right, the Hawaii. Did you say it right, Ashley? Did you say Hawaii?
Yeah.
Or do you say Hawaii, Hawaii, Hawaii? Okay. Old Hawaiian cottage, painted in 2007. Look at this. And I promise the first few people a deal beyond deals. And they're going to get it for this request. Okay. It is 18 by 24. Oh. David said this would be in a gallery, 25,000. Watch this. Who requested that, Ashley? Mr. C, I got a deal for you. Oh. This is so cheap, I got to turn my mic off because if other people heard this, it could be a stampede. Hey, maybe I can bring back the bull that's not a cow and have him stampede. All right, tell him this price. Cheap. I had to turn off my mic. I turned it off. I'll tell everybody, but that's a special price because he's the first to call in. Is that for him? It can't be. In a gallery, this is 25,000. I price that so cheap compared to a gallery. What does Mr. C say? Okay. Anybody else is interested in this? Oh, this is too cheap. $1,500 to open. $200 increments. I've never seen a David Lloyd Glover for $1,500. And this is oil on canvas. It is 18 by 24. At $1,500, you are talking an amazing.
Looks good.
All right. Well, you think about that, folks, because did I hear the phone ring or is that just my ears? That's probably my ears. All right, folks. From the endangered species, done in 2008, signed on the front and the back. Look at this. Penguins. David said that this would be Is that 100? Well, I can't. I got to put my glasses on. $100,000 at Art Brilliance. Tell you what I'm going to do. Folks, I hope you like penguins because these are the only two I have in one painting. Oh my goodness. $100,000 Art Brilliance painting. Oh, I'm gonna give someone a deal beyond belief. And that's a large David Lloyd Glover. David, don't get mad at me because this is unbelievable. $2,000 to open. Yeah. He's going, people in Japan are upset with you, Barry. $2,000. That's oil on canvas, right? Or acrylic or oil?
That's oil and canvas.
Oil on canvas. $100,000 Art Brilliance painting for $2,000 to open. The endangered species painted by world famous artist David Lloyd Glover. Think about that. And the creme de la creme, the most valuable David Lloyd Glover I've had. Now I got more to price and more to show you, but take a look at the panda. From the endangered species paintings, $100,000 Art Brilliance gallery price. Look at this. 30 by 24. Ugh. Yeah. I want to give everybody deals. $3,500 to open. $200 increments. Some of these were in How to Paint magazines. The apples was showing you how to paint it. Okay. Well, I am going to price a couple more of these. And okay, I would go with the bull. This is Heartland Morning. 20 by 24, painted in 2013. David showed in How to Paint. This painting appeared in one of the oldest How to Paint journals. And Heartland Morning. What is the item number on Heartland Morning?
My number on that is 2737.
2737. David said this would be a $35,000 painting. It is absolutely stunning. 20 by 24. we have established through my stupidity that is a bull, not a cow. Have you ever mixed them up before, Patty? Have you ever walked out in the field, go, come here, little cattle. Come here. Uh-oh. I'll tell you what I can do on this. This is 20 by 24. I'll tell you what, I'll give you guys a deal of a lifetime. Oh, this is too cheap. Look at those clouds. As the depth of this painting. $2,000 to open. $100 increments once I get the open. And tell you what I'm going to show next. I hope everybody's having a great evening out there on this Wednesday night. Tell you what I'm going to put up next. David went to a lot of discussion about warm colors and cold colors as this appeared, apples and plums. What is the item number on? Oh, it's already up there. Apples and plums, 16 by 20. And what magazine was that? Walter Foster's. I'm going to grab that out of your hands here. Tell you what, folks, this is a painting that, I'm sorry, would be $70,000 at Art Brilliance. Here is Walter Foster's book on how to paint. And you open it up, and in the middle, right there, David Lloyd Glover is explaining in Walter Foster's book how to mix the warm and cool colors so you create distance and how to do it. Now, actually, I'm going to live on the dangerous side right here. David taught me a lot tonight on what the warm and cold colors do, how it gives it the depth, and how it makes those apples and plums all fit there together. Got a $70,000 painting. Tell you what I'm going to do. Ashley, this might be the dumbest thing. I've done a few, but I'll tell you what. This is a $70,000 painting. Start at zero, $300 increments. Let's see what happens. Described in a book on how to paint. One of the most successful companies. Walter Foster's How to Paint books. I'm starting at zero. You got a $70,000 David Lloyd Glover, signed on the front, signed on the back, and I'm starting at zero. Look at that. Yeah, let me make sure that we have 300. Thank you. Yeah, good idea. We're at 300. I just wanted to make sure the phones were working.
Yes, the phones are working.
I am at 300. David, I've known you a long time. We're friends. Would you ever sell me this painting for $300?
No.
Of course not. Yeah. I mean, folks, let's just, I mean, you're talking about a $70,000 painting. 600, thank you. I got a $70,000 David Lloyd Glover. The painting is described in Walter Foster's How to Paint books. This particular painting, I'm at 600. Note to self, don't start another one at 0. Oh, this hurts. $600 going once. Ugh, that's right. $600 going twice. Fair. And final warning. That hurts. You talk about a very important painting. All in. All said. You got anybody? Done. Ow. Now, David, talk to me about the Beach Boys. Because I priced this way too cheap. You said that this could go for 25 to 35,000 because it's artist proof #1.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this.
This is a very popular series that I did of the Beach Boys. Big seller all over the world. And the reason why it's a big seller is that this is the longest running American rock band in history. So these are the icons of particularly the California sound that everybody loved. So in this particular painting, from left to right, we have Carl Wilson, who was the lead guitarist of the Beach Boys. Next to Carl was Dennis Wilson, who was the drummer. And their cousin in the center there, the lead singer, was Mike Love. And he was part of the family, but by cousin. And then Al Jardine, who just turned 80 last week, plays rhythm guitar and still does. And then Brian Wilson on the far right, who's considered one of the geniuses of American popular music. Genius composer, genius producer, record producer.
And you're saying this would not have surprised you if the #1 artist proof Good Vibrations
Good Vibrations.
would bring 25 or 35,000. That would not surprise you at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. Well, let's see what happens right now, David, because I'm going to put this up at 1,000 to open. You're talking 25,000 to 35,000. I'm putting it up for $1,000 to open.
Wow, that's a deal.
$250 increments once we get the open.
What a wonderful deal that is. You know, the title of Good Vibrations is certainly what they brought to the music industry. That single song, and that was a 3-minute song,
Yeah.
single, took the Beach Boys 6 months to record it.
Really?
6 months. They were in the studio all the time, going over and adding tracks and going over and amending it and changing it until he perfected it.
Wow.
So I had to name this piece of art Good Vibration.
Oh, fantastic name.
Yeah. And all recorded within walking distance of where we're standing today.
That's
Tonight.
amazing. That is really,
Because we're right here in the center of Hollywood.
yes,
Yeah.
we really are. Well, folks, give that a lot of thought. I am going to put up an artist that David met, that David knows far
Yes.
more about him. This is, I want to show you on the back, artist proof number 1 of 10. 25 to 35,000 is what David said this would usually sell for.
And
What are we looking at right now? Who is this?
David Gilmour, who was one of the founding members of the Pink Floyd group, which has had the longest running album that was charted on Billboard in history.
Really?
Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon.
And how long has that been registering in?
It was consecutively for 367, I think, weeks that, or not weeks, months.
Months. How many years is that?
Well, figure it out.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah.
So 367 divided by 12.
It was always a charted album. And they made a big deal the day it finally dropped off the charts. It was a first.
Oh my goodness.
David Gilmour, very popular, particularly with other guitar players. It's a must-have. If you play guitar, you got to have this in your music room.
Yes, you do. Well, and the last one of the musical is the Everly Brothers.
The Everly Brothers, yeah. This is my contemporary pop portrait of the Don and Phil Everly. And if you grew up in the 1950s and 60s, there wasn't a day that went by that you didn't hear a Don and Phil Everly song, the Everly Brothers. They were everywhere.
Let me move this so. There we go.
And as I said earlier, great inspiration for the Beatles because they copied their harmony style. So you'll notice in early Beatle performances and early recordings, it sounds very similar to the Everly Brothers because that's what their inspiration was from.
And this is also number 1, artist proof number 1. And what's the album number on this one again?
It is 2453.
$1,000 to open. Look at that.
Yeah, this was from a 1950s performance. And you know it's 1950s by the height of their hair.
It was
Those
shit.
pompadours,
Ah.
probably loaded with Vitalis or Brill cream or something to keep that conch up there nice and thick. But very talented and a huge influence in European music circles as well as being very popular in the United States.
Well, what I am going to do, David, is I'm going to move this one over. I'm going to put Heartland Morning back up. I am going to put this over here. I am going to pull up the $100,000 panda. I am going to pull up the endangered species penguins right here. And I am going to sit back and Ashley, Patty, I have that and these 3 and 5 other originals by David Lloyd Glover. Let me go to camera 2 if I could. Folks, Barry Chappell coming to you live. It's a Wednesday night art show. I have David Lloyd Glover here live with me. And what I want to do is, on these 3 David Lloyd Glovers, David said the retail gallery price, Art Brilliance Gallery, 100,000, 100,000, and 70,000 or something like that. Take a look at those 3. Call me. I also have the Hawaiian house. I have both an abstract realist painting there. I got some great David Lloyd Glovers. Ashley, Patty, Juliana, field me some offers. Camera 2. Tonight has not gone the way I thought it would. And I'm working on some big art deals, some huge coin deals. But call me. Make me some offers, some reasonable offers. I'm gonna make unbelievable deals right now. Take a look at that easel right there. The 2 endangered species and the Heartland painting. Call me. I would have to go the Penguins. That's gonna sell first. That's my guess. No interest. My goodness. Hey, there we go. I think he's got it. Does that mean... Let me go to camera 2 quickly. I want to show you a docudrama I made on David Lloyd Glover. Take a look at this. No problem.
I'm David Lloyd Glover, and art is my life. I've been an artist for the last 40 years. I've made my entire living working in the art field. When people ask me what my style is, I usually describe it as vivid impressionism, and that's because of the color palette that I use. And it's not so much about, am I a landscape painter, a seascape painter, or am I a still life painter, representational painter. I paint all things. There is a Glover signature. Collectors tell me there's something they see in my work, regardless of subject matter. They recognize my use of vivid colors, and there's a real resonance that they feel when they view one of my paintings, and particularly when they own one of the paintings. It has real emotional impact to them. When I was about 4 years old, my father took me to his favorite movie, and he took me to see Disney's Fantasia. And that was a whole wide world emotional thing that happened to me. You know, being in a big movie theater, the big screen, and seeing this artwork come to life, I was completely knocked off kilter. And my father explained to me that those aren't real things. I thought that was a real world. He said, no, those are all drawings. It was that mind-blowing experience that my father took me to that started me on this track of having to create, and I was voracious. I was drawing on everything. So they were getting me big stacks of paper, and I was filling them up as fast as I could, drawing everything that I saw on television, like Buck Rogers, Gene Autry, Roy Rogers. I mean, I was just out of my mind. It started there, and it never stopped. I'm always thinking of the person who is going to view the painting and what perspective they're going to have on it, particularly if they're going to be the owner of that painting. It becomes their personal possession and therefore their personal vision. The passion isn't to entertain me. It's not about what I think or what I feel so much. I think about what it would affect somebody else and how I could deeply impact their psyche. I want to bring out human emotions in a way that is calming, serene, exciting. If it's a brilliant sunset or something, it's all about emotions. That's what paint is. My paintings are really expressions of emotion. The moment that I realized I was gaining a reputation in art was when my Brentwood gallery was having an exhibition for me, and I walked into a very busy gallery full of people waiting to see me. I noticed that Olivia Newton-John was standing right in front of one of my paintings. I'm new to Los Angeles, and I'm going, wow, that's Olivia Newton-John. And we're just having a one-on-one conversation like I'm an equal to her. We live here in Los Angeles, and it's the entertainment capital of the world and certainly the creative center of the world. As a result of that, I've created a lot of paintings which celebrate the cultural history of Hollywood with famous icons of American pop culture. I did a painting of Django Reinhardt. He was the famous gypsy European jazz guitarist from the 1930s and 1940s. Anybody who plays guitar, that is his hero, because there's just nobody else like Django Reinhardt. I finished the painting, I took it in, and the gallery director said to me, dude, that's a great painting, but I don't know who the heck that is. Along comes Kim Campbell, Glenn Campbell's wife. She took one look at this painting, went, oh my God. And she ran back down the street, grabbed Glenn Campbell out of another store, took him up to the gallery and said, Glenn, look at that. And of course, that was it. He fell in love. That is his hero. Glenn Campbell is one of the greatest guitarists in the world ever. His hero is Django Reinhardt. So Glenn Campbell bought the painting. I've had a lot of artists that inspire me. I was at a show of Andrew Wyeth. When you see an Andrew Wyeth original painting, you realize he's really an artist's artist. They're wonderful compositions. His sense of light, of time and place are just outstanding, and it's very inspiring. Another artist is John Sargent. Although he was a portrait painter of great renown, he was also a wonderful impressionist painter who had great facilities to paint just about anything. His ability to capture a place and time was just outstanding. He would pride himself in painting a whole string of pearls with essentially a single brushstroke. I grew up in a city called Victoria in British Columbia. I lived 6 doors down from Emily Carr, and she is probably one of the greatest impressionist painters that ever lived. And certainly in the realm of women painters, Emily Carr inspired Georgia O'Keeffe, and here I'm literally 6 doors down from her studio. The impact of seeing her work completely floored me. Her paintings were just unbelievable. For the way an artist thinks and how an artist approaches his life, I turned to my mentor, Sid Barron, who became, over the years, what's considered a Canadian national treasure in the world of art and published art. He and I became friends when I was about 18, I think, at the time, when I first met Sid. And I went to meet him at his studio, and I went down the hallway to that studio door, and it's blank, glass window, rapped on the window, door opens, and this guy who looked like Art Carney from the Honeymooners looked at me and he said, huh, what do you want? And I said, well, my name is David Glover and I'm an artist and I really wanted to meet you and whatever. And he reached out and he grabbed me by the shirt and pulled me inside and said, get in here, closed the door. And he said, now what was that again?
At first, he was a little shocked because nobody would ever come to his door. He was a recluse. But shortly thereafter, we became fast friends, and we became friends for years. And he really was my artistic mentor. He was not an artist who was telling me how to do things technically. It was really about philosophy, and it was about life experience. Sid prepared me for the rejection and sharing his life experience on what it's like as an artist to present your portfolio and constantly being rejected. And for me not to lose heart, expect to be rejected was what he would tell me. You make 10 presentations, you make 20 presentations, but eventually somebody will say yes and you'll be accepted. His guidance is what propelled me to pursue my career professionally.
昔々あるところに
One of the most poignant moments early in my career was I was invited to Tokyo to have a one-man show with an art dealer there known as Art Brilliant. And Art Brilliant was, certainly at the time, the largest art dealer in the world. I went to an exhibition where it was kind of beyond description. There was over 850 people. The pomp and circumstance they put on, a ceremony of having an artist there live and in person, to them was really something big. At that show, I was sold out that evening, and it was just over 100 original paintings. I realized I had an awful lot of work to do because I signed an exclusive contract for Asia that went on for the next 17 years. Although it was very difficult to perform at such a high level for so many years, the result to me was that there really isn't anything that I can't do. Living in Southern California gives me the inspiration of light and atmosphere, but my broad, vivid landscapes that I create are from my memories of where I grew up in British Columbia. Those images live with you forever. When I want to create a stunning wilderness landscape or a mountainous lake, I go right back to when I was young. My studio is unique in that I have an eastern exposure. So in the morning I control my lighting through the shutters, and I'm able to direct the light onto the canvas area to essentially color correct, because I can get a very clean color. As the day progresses, I move the shutters because the sun is rising above and then sets into the west. Even when the sun is setting, I get a specific style or type of light that comes in through the windows. When I have one of my paintings sold, I never really know whether the same emotions and message that I'm trying to impart in this painting actually transcends to the collector. It's the human part of us that perceives what we see and what we feel as art, because we can go to that extra level, and there it becomes art. My inspiration will come from some emotional and visual impact, and then I will express it in my paints, in my mediums. I want people to see the remnants of the artist. I want them to see a piece of art. I'm telling a story, either it's a narrative story by what you see going on in the scene, or it's strictly an emotional story. It's a response that you have to a particular light effect, a view down a country road, you imagine what's at the end of that road or where it's leading you to, or it's nostalgic. It reminds you of when you were growing up, or it reminds you of an important time in your life. Maybe it was your first romance. You were in a setting just like you see in this painting. So it touches this on a very base level. Art is something that chooses you. Your ability to create in any kind of medium just comes innately, and it starts when you're very young. Certainly in my case it did. You feel this need to create all the time, no matter what you're doing. But it's not something that I think that you decide one day, you wake up and say, okay, let's go to school and be an artist. It has to come from within. Art is something that's always in your left ear telling you, yeah, it's time to paint. It's time to paint, David. You kind of follow the direction that all forces are leading you in. I have done other things in my life, but art is always the mainstay. It has been a constant in my life since I was 4 years old, and it's a constant today. Everything I do in my life revolves around creativity.
Folks, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a little documentary I made about David quite a while ago. He's one of the best known artists. He has sold, he was just telling me while I was running some of the people in his life that he has sold to and met. You know, Olivia Newton-John bought paintings from him. But anyway, I've been here tonight, and I had started with 8, one sold, got 7 left. And what I want to do, here are 3 that I thought were just so impressive right here that I was speculating before the show that they would go so fast. This is the Panda. It was painted in 2008. It is absolutely stunning. There's oil on canvas. It was from David's Endangered Species paintings. And what is the item number on the Panda? Yes. 2743. Now this is a $100,000 painting. And I have put it up cheaper and cheaper. Make me an offer, get close. I'll wheel and I'll deal. Tonight hasn't gone the way I envisioned it. And I'm not sure why, but hey, all I can do is make incredible deals. This is in 2008. This is penguins from his Endangered Species. Look at that. That is stunning. What is this, a $70,000 or $100,000 painting right here? And it is entitled Penguins, and it is just fantastic. And that is oil on canvas, correct?
Right.
Yes. And then right over here on the easel, I thought was one of the knockout paintings I have ever seen from David Lloyd Glover. This right here, on canvas panel, 20 by 24. It is Heartland Morning. It is signed on the front, signed on the back, and I'm trying to remember, I had it up for, I don't even remember what I had it up for. Call me. I'm going to make you guys some deals that you could normally never get, and I don't mind subsidizing your purchase because you're going to go, wow, that Barry Chappell gave me a deal of a lifetime. This painting right here, I thought would fly out. It was 2007 right here. It is called Old Hawaiian Cottage. Look at that. Someone want to see that? I will pull that up right now. And that is one of the most interesting paintings. I am going to put this up right after Old Hawaiian Cottage. We're talking about Path Under the Garden Arbor. That is acrylic on canvas, but I'm going to put this up right here. Path Under the Garden Arbor. Now, David made the point that this could be considered an abstract painting as well as a realistic landscape because of the formulation of the flowers and how they lead your eyes. And he mentioned how your brain sees 3 or 4 or 5 parts, then fills in the blanks, And right here, this is stunning. Had it up for $5,500. I'll tell you what. Is somebody interested in this one, Patty? Because I'll work them a deal on this. Oh, I'm going to give someone the deal of a lifetime right now. Tell you what. Watch this, Patty. This is so cheap it's scary. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. $1,200 to open. $1,200 to open on an original David Lloyd Glover. What do they say, Patty? I mean, that is about a deal of a lifetime. Camera 2. Let me get on camera 2 here, Matt. Barry Chappell coming to you live. I have 7 David Lloyd Glovers left. They are amazing paintings. 2 from the endangered species paintings. I have unbelievable works. Get me anywhere close. Just get in the ballpark. You don't even have to be at the plate. Call me up. Take a look at these. You're going to get deals. I'll even subsidize your purchase. I cannot believe the panda hadn't sold. Most importantly, the penguins. I thought that's a $70,000 painting. That is oil on canvas. That penguins from the endangered species. Signed on the front, signed on the back. I priced that so cheap, you just call me. And I'm going to rotate through a few of the paintings, and I hope you see something you like. If not, I'll move on to other art. But you're talking about the David Lloyd Glover. Look at that right there. Whether it's his rock and roll.
Offer?
What's that?
Offer on the Garden of Arbor?
1 second. What is the garden is sold? Thank you. I appreciate it. And I thought one of the most amazing landscapes was this one right here. I'm actually going to, Ashley, I am going to put the penguin. It's hard to say the word penguin without thinking about Batman. Yeah. Yes. This right here, this landscape right here, Heartland morning. is absolutely unbelievable. Now, what is the item number on Heartland Morning? Because 2737. You'll see tricks David used to create what looks like precipitation in the clouds that you can almost reach over there and just touch. It's so realistic. And I'll tell you what, I will give you a price. We had this up, I think we had it up for 35. And watch this. On this painting, first color, oh, this is too cheap. Ashley, I can't even buy it from him for this, but it is $1,375. Right there. Yes. I mean, it's in a book. He is showing people, teaching people how to paint warm and cool colors, create this background. This is a $50,000 painting, but it ain't my way tonight, and I'd rather lose money letting you get the painting. So you tell your friends about that bowl in the field. Look at the depth. Look at those low-hanging clouds. Look at the depth you get in this. It looks three-dimensional. It's not. It's a two-dimensional painting, but he has painted it so well you can see all three dimensions. It's unbelievable. $1,350. First color, $1,350. We'll put that price up there, and if that doesn't sell, I don't know what to do. And David's holding up the book that Mr. Foster's How to Paint book, where this painting, finishing, highlight, and details, this painting that you can have at that cheap price was in the book right here, Pastoral Landscapes, Walter Foster. My goodness. That's going to sell. I'm going to hand this back to you, David. And then call me. The Hawaiian house hasn't sold yet. What's that?
If you own it, you're in Hawaii every day of your life.
David says if you own that house, you're in Hawaii every day of your life. This was a very interesting painting here. Lakeside Wild Rose. I am going to move the bowl in the field and put this one up right.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone.
I'm sure I do, Siri, but I'm putting a painting up. Are you trying to help me, Siri? Siri?
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
Yes, how come people aren't buying my paintings tonight?
I'm not sure I understand.
Well, I'm on TV live now, and they've bought some, but not all of them, and I don't understand why at the low prices I have. Sorry about that. You can also type in what you're looking for. So, what do they say? Call me.
That's a garden for you. All wildflowers.
Yes, right here. Lakeside Wild Roses. And David will take you down that path. A starting point for your eye, a finishing point.
See that lake in the background?
I do now, yes. Folks,
Always a perfect day in that painting.
it is always a perfect day in that painting. You are correct. Tell you what, I want to sell one of these endangered species paintings. This at $100,000 retail. Tell you what I'm going to do, Ashley. This is one of the largest paintings I have from the endangered species. Here's what I'm going to do. Oh, look at that, the panda. Whew. I'll tell you what, I got a price. I'm going to subsidize. Patty, I'm going to probably lose more to the customer than I'm charging him for this painting. Because I think that the endangered species done by David Lloyd Glover, I think I got a price in mind that is so cheap. I just want to, okay. Oh, I can't even say it, it's so cheap. Do you think anybody, how many people are watching me online? I know I got a lot of dish customers. Should I say this out loud or should I say call? Because this is unbelievable. Patty, this is what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. I got to turn my mic off because Patty could get very mad at me. And she does have a knife. Says, tell you what I'm going to do. Endangered species, the panda. You're talking about a list of 100,000. This is so cheap, I'm probably losing more than I'm selling it to you for. $1,750. It's a yes, no, no negotiations. That is from David Lloyd Glover's Endangered Species. That is the panda. At that price, one of the most famous artists we've ever had on TV. Look at that. And think about the panda. Here's what I'm going to do. Call me. Yeah, I'm going to put that right there. The house in Hawaii. What fight was that when he said no mas? Who was that? Was that Duran? What year was that? Who was he fighting? Folks, I might need to move on to some other art. I'm telling you, I am giving these away. I'm giving prices that are unbelievable. I'll tell you what, I got 30 minutes left in the show. Last call on David Lloyd Glover's. Anybody that bought one tonight, you have bought a painting far better than I did in many cases. And I've been doing this, I'm in my 33rd year. Just a strange night. last call on the David Lloyd Glovers. Give that bull a home. Yes, that's a lonely bull. Herb Albert, Tijuana Brass. Well, folks, I want to thank you for watching. Is there anybody else on David Lloyd Glover's work? And David, I want to bring you up here one last time, and I am thinking I got some Henry Miller's, I got some other art.
Yes, you got some of mine.
Yeah, well, I'm trying, David. It's just,
entertaining the folks.
oh, well, I hope so. So, folks, any last calls on David Lloyd Glover? There he is.
Yeah, any questions? Anything they want to know about any of the pieces? Like where they were, what's behind them, how were they done?
You know what's neat too? That David is here, and whoever purchases it, he could personalize it for them.
That's
Yes.
true, yes.
Anybody
I
that
do.
wants David to personalize your painting, he'll do it right now.
Yeah.
He'll sign it for you and personalize it to you.
Either the music pieces or the endangered species or the landscapes.
Yeah, now what if
Personalize
somebody,
it.
endangered species, what if somebody, no, don't go there, Chappell, don't go, never mind. I'm only going to get myself in more trouble.
Stop yourself, Barry, then maybe you should stop.
I stopped myself at the right time. Well, David,
Just in the neck, you know?
yeah, thank you. I'm going to see what else I can do, man. I
Okay,
said,
you
thank
got
you.
it. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh,
And
my
you know, I'm just-
pleasure.
I'm only a couple of miles away, so
All
I'll be happy to
right.
come back.
Thank you, David.
Always a pleasure. Okay.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.
Folks, earlier tonight before I was on Dish, I had a Henry Miller. Henry Miller is a great novelist, and this is one of his pieces. He did these with Gary Chappell, owner of Coast Galleries. Henry Miller wrote Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer, Nexus, Lexus, and this one, Henry Miller, entitled Only the Blues. And right here, he signed it, Henry Miller. It's number 32 of 200. Henry Miller signed and numbered. They were sold out rare by Gary Chappell. And the Centennial Collection, I'll tell you what, if we can put up the graphics, what's the item number on this? Only the Blues. Yeah. I'll tell you what, yeah. 35. I'll tell you what. $750 to open, $100 increments. And I hope you're out there. And I'll tell you what. Patty. Yes, I'm gonna Folks, a couple people have called up saying I need to auction. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Here, you want a deal of a lifetime? Here, this is one of the most expensive paintings. This is Penguins, 2008, the endangered species. It's oil on canvas, 28 by 22. Look at that. Here's what I'm going to do. Patty, this is so cool. It is oil on canvas, 28 by 22. He said this was a $100,000 painting at some of Art Brilliance's galleries. I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now. I'll give people a deal that's so good I cannot even comprehend it. Watch this, Patty. Oh, this is too cheap. $1,500 to open. $250 increments once we get the open. Folks, nobody can buy that. And I know David's wife is his bookkeeper. David's wife won't even let David buy that from himself for $1,500. I'm subsidizing your purchase. It's from his endangered species. Call me up. Oh my goodness. That is so cool. He made that in a modern art, kind of abstract-ish style. It's stunning. Any interest, folks? Tell you what, let me.
You have an offer of 400 on the
On which one?
on the Hawaiian.
I can't do that, but I'll tell you what. Let me put the Hawaiian house up. I'll tell you what I can do. It is stunning. I'll tell you what. What is the item number on the Hawaiian house? Say what? 2741. Yeah, old Hawaiian cottage. Tell you what I can do. $1,200. $1,100 to open, or just buy it outright. $1,100. Get me close. Oh. And I am definitely and you all right. Hey. Folks, any last calls? All right. Nobody on the Henry Miller. I'm going to do some research. All right, I tell you what I'll do. Uh, whew. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to put this up right here at the river's bend. Give me a call. There you go, at the river's bend. What's the item number on at the river's bend? 2736. Look at that. Tell you what, I only have about 17 minutes left at the river's bend. Ooh, look at that, 25,000 in a gallery. Tell you what, let's have some fun. This is a cool painting. $1,300 to open. $100 increments once we get the open. I have some. Any last request? I have a Ritter that a couple people had called on that he painted a yowza, 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 hubba, 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 hubba painting on his own palette. This is Julian Ritter. He was known for hanging out with Elvis and also for painting showgirls in Las Vegas. And this is the only one that anybody ever saw that he painted it on his own palette. We got this from a family that had collected art and coins from a pawn shop for 60 years. List price $8,000. I'll tell you what I can do. And that is a Julian Ritter. Yeah. Tell you what, this guy hung out with Elvis. This guy was well known in Las Vegas, Julian Ritter, for painting portraits of showgirls. He was at the hotel that apparently Elvis spent the most time at. $1,500 to open. That's the only time we've ever seen a Julian Ritter painted on his palette. Can't believe the Pilgrims didn't.
What's the lowest you'll
What's the size on that? What did I have it up for? Price. That's a good gimmick, David. Sign the wrong painting to the wrong people. Hey, Ashley.
And they were the ones who
Yeah, this is. I see what you're up to, Mr. Glover.
it's a new sales technique.
New sales technique. How did they like that last price? I'm actually losing money at it, but they'll be happy. Hey, David, on this, on the, let's see. No, I'm joking. Whew. That's an interesting sales gimmick. We can, no, you guys, I thank you. Nobody wants this one? Tell you what. This one is the biggest surprise for me because when you look close at what he's doing up top here, Wilson, up a little higher, up, keep going up, yeah, right up there, the way he's texturing this. This is Heartland Morning, and we're going to pull up the graphics on Heartland Morning. This is one of the most incredible paintings I have seen David Lloyd Glover paint. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do on this. I thought with this lonely bowl, you can feel the precipitation in the air. It is just, it's unbelievable. Tell you what, this is a $5,500 David Lloyd Glover. Any day of the week on my show. But here's what I'm going to do. Ashley, Patty, I'm going to give someone a deal of a life. And this is one of the, I know everybody has their own feelings, but me, after 33 years on TV, I think this is one of the greatest David Lloyd Glovers I've ever seen. At 20 by 24, I'll tell you what. Watch this, Patty. This is too cheap. I only got 11 minutes left. $1,000 to open. $100 increments. What? Folks, what do you think? This is one of my favorites. Make me some offers. I got literally 8 minutes left. Moving along. Let me see. I got, well, I'm down to one Henry Miller. I'm going to do a lot of research on some of these other artists that I got out of a 30-year pawn shop. And for next week, I got some coins coming in. Well, folks, I want to thank you. It's been a strange evening, and I will be back next week with all kinds of coins. And I want to thank you there, that camera. I got 7 minutes. If you want a deal, throw out a reasonable number, or even get close to reasonable, and I will make it happen. So pan the studio, Wilson, and let's see what we can make happen. Then I am going to get out of this shot. And I'll tell you what, I can, Miss T, here's what I can do, Miss T. And I thank you for watching. On the Hawaiian one, Patty, what's the size of it? What's the size of the Hawaiian one? I got 6 minutes left. I don't think so, but let me make a counter.
She says 18 by 24. 18 by 24.
Oh, I can't do that, but I'll tell you what I can do. I'm losing money. I just gave you, Miss T, an incredible price. All right. Well, thank you, folks. Whether you want one of the endangered species, which one, I'll work. I'll wheel and deal like I've never wheeled and dealt. I mean, I want to thank you.
On the lady there, the art, the lady.
This? On the pallet. Yeah, I'll tell you what, who's making the offer? Chopper, I'll tell you what, I want Chopper to have this. Because this is a very valuable piece. I'll tell you what I can do. Where's Chopper at? And I'm going to make him a deal. Because this was, the family was telling me how rare this is. Where is he at? Where was he at? What was his offer? Tell you what, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for him And I don't care what the price is. Watch this. 850 he owns it, and it's worth 10 times that. Chopper, this is a very, very famous artist. He was a friend of Elvis. He is known for painting showgirls in Las Vegas. That's the only one we've seen ever painted on Mr. Ritter's palette, Julian Ritter. And I just offered it to him so cheap. What does he say? I want you to have it, and I think you'll do well with this. This is a special piece. It should be in an auction house. Well, I want to thank you guys. I got 3 minutes left. What'd they say?
So maybe you should sign off. Maybe you should sign off with the F-bomb.
Mr. S, but
MH is cracking up still.
MH, Mr. S, I might have accidentally sworn on live TV. Swore, cussed, cursed, embarrassed myself with my lack of. My mother is watching. She was calling tonight. No, Mom. Now she's going to wash my mouth out with soap. Life boy. Anybody want my last minute swearing special? One minute. Folks, I want to thank you. I know for a fact I am trying to get some amazing art for next week. I don't even want to jinx a deal by telling you what it is, but it is amazing. And it is unaffordable for almost everybody. That's why we're sending Wilson over there tonight to break into the place. Our cost will be $0. If Wilson gets caught, he disavowed this mission. Well, anyway, thank you, folks. And I wish you all a great week. Yes. Patty, I got 10 seconds. Well, a little more than 10 seconds. 10. Hey, Patty, I will work a deal. Hey, we love you. You be good to everybody. See you later. Bye-bye.